Bending Towards Enlightenment. In the quaint town of Serenity, nestled between the whispering woods and the serene lake, there was a little-known yoga studio named Bending Towards Enlightenment. The studio was a hidden gem, a sanctuary where the townsfolk could escape the relentless pace of modern life and reconnect with their inner selves. The studio was run by a woman named Maya, who was as enigmatic as the moon's soft glow on a clear night. Her eyes held the calm of the lake, and her movements were as graceful as the leaves dancing in the wind. Maya was not just a yoga instructor, she was a guide on the path to enlightenment, and her classes were more than just physical exercises, they were spiritual journeys. One day, a newcomer named Jack stumbled upon the studio. Jack was the epitome of a man burdened by the modern world, his shoulders slumped from the weight of stress, his eyes dulled by the glare of screens, and his mind fogged by the constant buzz of city life. He entered the studio with a skeptical mind and a rigid body, a stark contrast to the fluid grace of the regulars who moved like reeds in the breeze. Maya welcomed Jack with a smile that seemed to pierce through his skepticism. "Yoga is the dance of every cell with the music of every breath that creates inner serenity and harmony," she said, her voice a soothing balm to his frayed nerves. Jack, unsure and awkward, took his place on a mat, feeling like a boulder amidst pebbles. The class began with the simplest of poses, but Jack felt like he was trying to bend steel. Maya's voice, however, was patient and encouraging. "Yoga is not about touching your toes, it's about what you learn on the way down." With each breath, Jack felt a slight loosening of the knots in his muscles and the clutter in his mind. Days turned into weeks, and Jack found himself returning to the studio, drawn by an inexplicable pull. Each pose took him deeper into the layers of his being, peeling away the stress, the anxiety, and the relentless rush of thoughts. Maya's teachings resonated with him. Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self to the self. Under Maya's guidance, Jack began to master poses that he had once thought impossible. With every bend, every stretch, and every pose, he was not just training his body but also taming his mind. The studio became his refuge, the mat his canvas, and his movements the strokes of a painter, creating the art of his transformation. One day, as Jack held the warrior pose, gazing out at the tranquil lake, he experienced a moment of profound clarity. It was as if the water's stillness had seeped into his soul, the wood's whispers had quieted his thoughts, and the vast sky had expanded his heart. In that moment, Jack found what he didn't even know he was searching for: peace. Months passed, and the man who once walked into Bending Towards Enlightenment with a skeptical mind and a rigid body was now a testament to the transformative power of yoga. Jack's journey had become an inspiration to others, his story a legend in the studio. Maya watched with a knowing smile as Jack, now a beacon of serenity, moved with the effortless grace of a leaf on the wind. The studio continued to be a sanctuary for all who sought refuge from the chaos of the world. Maya, the serene guide, led her students on their paths, reminding them that every bend, every stretch, every breath was a step towards enlightenment. And as for Jack, he realized that enlightenment was not a destination but a way of being. With every pose, he was bending not just his body, but his very spirit towards the light of self-discovery and inner peace. In the sacred space of the studio, amidst the fellow seekers on their mats, Jack found his home, a place where the body stretched, the mind expanded, and the soul soared. Find more intriguing stories on newcritics.com.